Hi, I'm Peter.
My name is Alex.
So my name is Sergio.
Well, I'm John.
That is the cool part about music these days, because it's for everybody.
Hi, welcome to Untune Podcast. I'm Peter K.A. and we got Mr. Sergio.
Calimano. I'm here.
For this podcast anyway, right?
Yeah, Calimano for today.
Because today we're going to talk about your new release.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Tillräckligt. That was out Wednesday last week, August 14th. We released it everywhere, basically.
Yeah.
Where you normally listen to your music.
It's released on your own sub-label on
Calimano. Yeah, Calimano Entertainment.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a double single. We got 2 tracks. We're going to talk about foremost one of the tracks.
Yeah.
The lead single.
Yeah.
Then the second single is we can do like the simple explanation for it. It's a really heavy track. Both of them are. We got subjects that's really into this time right now. Yeah. Really heavy subjects. Second single on the EP is on the release is Darlingen.
Yeah.
It's a heavy track. I remember you came to me with the hook and you came with the explanation and you can do a.
Yeah, I mean, the simple version is I got inspired, or I had the opportunity to meet a friend of mine. She told me that she wanted me to make a track revolving certain things that has happened to her in her life. I made a track, forgot about it actually for a year or two, and then I sat on the piano here outside the studio. You came to me and said that we need to do this. I mean, to get you in a little bit of what it's about. It's
you shouldn't beat so much about around the bushes. It's about sexual assault.
Yeah,
and it's a very serious subject, and it's a very hard subject to get talked about.
Yeah,
it's not talked about enough. We don't have that view on it as it's like we should be able to talk about it because it's happening like once too much.
Yeah,
but it's happening so much. We see it in the news every day, and it's unacceptable.
Yeah, I think it's not until you have experienced it yourself or someone close to you have experienced it that you can get like a quick scope of what it's really about. And I had as I said, opportunity to meet with my friend, and she told me all about it, and we made this song called Darlingen, and it ended up as the second single on this project, Tillräckligt.
Yeah. So go listen on that, and we're not going to talk so much about that today because the other track, Tillräckligt, has another subject that's also real heavy and really worth talking about. And we're going for a production point of view here more. So that track is quite interesting because of the changes made.
Yes,
the subject changed during the production of it. It didn't change that; it changed the perspective. It changed because it became more serious. And that's the interesting part, I think.
Yeah.
So the recap of that track might be worth explaining because both tracks are in Swedish, and we do this podcast in English. So let's do a recap of the lyrics and like the meaning behind it.
All right, so Tillräckligt, the lead single on the double single that is out. The lyrics is basically me explaining certain feelings of being black in Sweden. I mean, it's 2019, but we still got racism going on. We actually have like a racist party in our parliament in Sweden, and we see that all over Europe and maybe all over the world. So I took the standpoint just to talk about it openly, because I mean, even if it doesn't have to be like on national level, I mean, I see it every day. I mean, I have the line in the song that, you know, I get the question, or I get people say to me that I speak so good Swedish, you know.
Yeah, you lived here your whole life.
Yeah, I lived here for like 24 years. Only had like 4 months that I wasn't in Sweden. So that question or that thing to say to me is weird, because of course I have good Swedish. But so, and then I realize always when I get the question or when people say that, they referring to it because they see my skin color and they automatically think that, oh, this person might not be from around here or something. So the song is basically about everyday racism and structural racism on a national level. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not
everything.
Yeah. My understanding about it, like how I got it to me from you, your explanations, maybe quite understanding more like the depth of how that everyday racism is affecting someone who has who's being the, what do you say, affected by it, like directly. You can see, like, I see it every day, and like during the conversation we had, like realizing that my behaviors also was aimed in like having different point of thoughts process about different people of different ethnicities, and it mind like sets a new kind of point of view of how deep that like that perspective becomes. Just like your language, but like other people also have like the appreciation of just people make up stuff, you know. That it's hard to find like specific things. It's just people make stuff up, like so it's worth talking about. And the parliament, like here in Sweden with the politics here, it's hard to understand how we get to this point where we have a racist party in Sweden, and that's known all around the world for being such normalizing and like understanding country. And well, it's scary.
And I think that was part of it, because I thought about, I mean, it could be a song just from my point of view of my life, blah blah blah, etc. But I felt the need to write the song because it's happening right now everywhere. So, and it has been so for like hundreds and hundreds of years. But actually, when we got this party here in Sweden, and we see some in France, we see some things going on otherwhere in Europe. I mean, I felt the need to just, talk about it. And my platform is music, so if I felt the need to write a song, record it, and you helped me with that.
Yeah. Like the backstory, as we talked in the last podcast, like I've been a part of Sergio's career, like now, like back and forth, like back in the days, before you even got serious with music. And now when you came with these productions you've been writing on for so long, this track, these two tracks were like, we gotta have that, because that conversation, like what you've been, I know that you have been affected by these things, like it's been happenings back in Härryda, where we live there, and like it's nice to see that you get somewhat like get it off your chest.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm grateful being part of that.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah. Is there anything more like about the context of the track that you want to explain?
I brought in, I mean, I felt, so it's a feature, Julia Capelius. She sings the chorus of the song. And from, I felt the need to have someone else's voice and someone that I could talk to and bounce the idea of what the song was supposed to be. Someone that would be willing to take the context and the content of the song and try to make like a serious, like the chorus. I wanted the chorus to be like a statement, like the song, as you said, Tillräckligt, the basic translation, enough. So basically, it's like the statement is like it's enough now.
Yeah, but that's quite interesting. That we had the you gave me that title, and it's in the it's not in the chorus. It's in the pre-chorus.
Yeah,
and I didn't recognize it as the part as you mentioned it in the pre-chorus, because in the pre-chorus you mention it as you are enough Swedish to be here.
Yeah,
and that context I didn't get that from the title, because I got it from the title that it's just enough now.
Yeah.
This is getting ridiculous. Like now is enough. Like it won't.
Yeah, but that's one part of where the meaning or the song became more. Because you came with that perspective, and I was like, oh yeah, you can totally view it from this perspective. You can see it from, I mean, I say I'm South African and I'm South American in the blood, African to the skin. I think I say that I'm I live in northern parts of Europe, but I am Swedish, and that's what does that make me? And I mean, your perspective kind of just broadened the whole song and the idea of what the song could be about. So hopefully it reaches a broader audience because of that. Because otherwise, I think sometimes when you go in the studio, you have a song and you have it thought out that it's going to be like this. Sometimes the cool thing about working with someone else is that when they bring their perspective, you can always combine them and the song could be more powerful. And basically, I think when we had Julia on the chorus, it became more powerful, because then you know that, all right, so we have this perspective. Someone saying that it's enough. I'm talking about, or am I enough Swedish to be here? I mean, it got more powerful, more serious maybe.
Perspective, yeah.
Yeah.
And Julia did a great job with the chorus.
Yeah.
We actually re-recorded the chorus after they changed the whole musical instrumentation of the track. The chorus. And I think it became such a powerful, like, it just had different kind of instrumentation through the song.
Yeah.
And that chorus that we came up with is just, it should be surprising.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole idea of it, right? So like, do we have any input, like, of what's your perspective of why we came up with that kind of arrangement? Because it's quite odd in itself. Like, we're starting out with a sample from Hard Talk, from BBC Hard Talk, and then we go through the like quite harmonic instrumentation with a lot of like happy melodic instruments, and that heavy lyrics you have on that is just it's interesting contrasts, I think.
Actually, the chorus was the last thing I wrote for this song, because I had the verses, I had the ending where I rap a little bit, but the chorus, I wanted a statement to be made. And as far as the production went, I mean, as you said, we made changes along the way, but the main idea, I think, was to have Julia sounding like, this. I wanted her to sound like this everyday Swede saying it's enough, like a statement. And I feel like with those aggressive or kind of aggressive sounds that we have in the chorus, I think we kind of set the tone that this is enough and it's a statement. We even have like 2 choruses in the song that are, you could say, more chill, but still they are so serious. So
it's the lyric in it. It's really just hits you.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not often I've been like mad or like that. I'm not good with the translation, actually. Right?
Yeah.
It's not often. I'm not often the one who just gets crazy about stuff.
But if you say that someone is less
of something, then I'm gonna get you. You know.
Yeah.
And then putting the middle finger up for you, like what you guys talking is what's it?
It's hurting our country, basically. Yeah.
It's landsförräderi is right. It's like treason.
Yeah,
national treason.
Yeah,
that's heavy. That's heavy. I think that you guys nailed that. The chorus is like, it's hooky with that heavy subject. Big ups for that.
But I think it needed. I think it was quite fun when we changed the instrumentation to where we actually are today when the single got dropped, because we tried so many things. But I think that between you and me, we were always like, we always liked the rough sound, but even when we were, we had somewhat of a dubstep drop kind of thing in the beginning, like in the earlier stages of even the song. We tried out something with just like a chill, but a piano type vibe. But then again, we always came back to, we wanted something a little bit more aggressive. And then when you have Julia's song or the vocals that are really clean, actually we backed it up with a vocoder, but still clean, then it's cool to have like these worlds,
simplicity of that.
Like the simplicity of her. And her song being clean, meeting those rough sounds that really pump through the speaker, or hopefully, I think it's that's cool. That's where I wanted to go, and I think that's where we landed in the end.
Yeah.
So kind of a merge between heavy and soft.
Yeah. And I like the last choice we made before mixing it. It was the samples before the chorus.
Yeah,
that was an interesting choicing. Like, we went through so many different samples. We were sitting here one night like until like 2 a.m. and just looking at like all different like videos on YouTube and trying to find anything that was like, had a reference to any racism or a reference to any like discrimination. And
I actually I think I had the phrase. I wanted the voice to say something about, that's fucked up. So I gave to you like 4 or 5 videos where they said so.
No, but that's in the verse, right? That ended up in the verse later.
I think it's between the pre-chorus and the first chorus. No.
It ended up in the middle of one verses when you go Marco X and It's not, it's if a white man does something that's
So then it's-
celebrated.
yeah.
If black man does something, then it's discriminated or something, right? And then it goes like, "What? That's fucked up."
Yeah, that's fucked up.
But in like we went through so many different samples, we ended up with like something goes like, "Yeah, this is a public service announcement," and so on. But then we just choose to like, no, we remove all the samples. We don't have anything in the pre, like after the pre-chorus, because the emptiness, the open there, and just your echo.
Yeah.
That then the swooshing and the pumping of the chorus just hits you real hard, right?
Yeah.
I think that was a good choice.
But I think you came actually with both the songs. I think a lot of the times you came with the idea that breaks or some empty spots in these songs could make you think.
Yeah.
Then you have the opportunity to think for a second or two of what I just said. I mean, in the pre-chorus to this song, as we said before, I'm questioning whether am I, Swedish enough to be here. For that to just, for the listener to have it's good to have a moment just to, all right, he just dropped some serious shit, and then you have the chorus coming. So I think you could view those empty spots with the echoing out of what I just said as
Thinking time.
Yeah.
Evaluation.
Yeah.
We also had like the ending in both of the songs of the double single is actually just taking it all down. Just take it down to like the from the hype energy of that chorus to like in Tillräckligt you have this hype chorus. It's then go down to your like last interlude about the references you take to like war and to like democracy and like the questionnaire about what is our politics about and how do we view upon it as a society. That thing makes you like just have so many questions in your head. And then you take it down even more to the vocal of your singing, like make it more cozy, but still have that seriously of the lyric and the ending, like the last chorus of both their tracks.
Yeah,
like taking it to this way, way, way low, just her vocal singing the chorus and that mellotron or like the keys and it gives me goosebumps every day.
Yeah. Actually,
why do you feel like
now when the song is out, I think the coolest thing has been those endings to play to people, because every time when I play, say for example, I start with the Tillräckligt, and when it comes to the ending of the song, people always like 10-20 seconds before it has changed the song, people ask, is it a new song?
Yeah,
it's basically it. So that's how heavy. Just to get you listeners and viewers to understand, I would love for you to go listen to it on Spotify or where you find your music. But that's how heavy we changed the sound and the mood of the song, so people could actually like, oh, so it's the same song. And I think that's quite cool, because when you hear in this in Tillräckligt, when you hear Julia's last chorus, I mean, then you so we still on this song. Then you have basically what we've done. We've changed the mood for you to evaluate what has been said before and to think a little bit more. It feels like we took it down tempo wise, but it's the same tempo.
Same tempo, yeah.
It's just the mood and the instrumentation that has radically changed. I mean,
I think it's for me, just thinking there, like you're putting the listener at the spot. Like, are you actually listening to this? Are you actually listening to what I'm saying? You know, because if you're thinking like, it's a new song, then have you really listened to what it says? You know, and I think that's really important. Just that thought of it. So when you listen to the lyrics, like really listen to the lyrics.
And I think that's cool, because I have a close friend of mine. She's always telling me that lyrics is the least part of a song that she listens to. But she actually took this one the first because Tillräckligt, as you said, it starts with a sample of two people talking with each other, and then just by that intro, she understood the seriousness of the song, and she understood that, all right, I might just start with the vocals and listen to what he has to say, and then she was like, whoa. So that's cool. I mean, the response that we've gotten is overwhelming. I'm really happy. I mean, it felt like we hit just the right spot, so that it would be understandable for everybody or the majority. I hope so. And yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, and like as we were talking so much about like during the changes of the chorus, and when we came to the ending of Tillräckligt, I know what we were talking about. Like, this is not a club track.
No.
Even if we have this hype ass, chorus, it's not a club track. We just want to make people think. We want to start conversations. We want people to have this in mind. Like, yeah, let's talk about this in both tracks. Like, yeah, that. I don't know where I was leading with that, actually. But yeah, that's, having that. We want to start conversations. We want to make people think, and think in your everyday, like ordinary life. Like, how do you treat people? What do you expect from people? And that's more or less it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the ability to open the conversation and to actually tell people that anyone could start the conversation anywhere. I mean, racism, or when it comes to sexual assaults, I mean, it's often in the everyday place. I mean, your workplace, at the bus. I mean, blah blah blah, in the mall. That's where you could, as just a regular person or someone just overseeing it, you could just step in and to start the conversation and to start the thought in someone's head that it's okay and it's actually about time that we get aware of what's happening around us.
Having the conversation about it, actually.
Yeah, I think that's mainly the idea. So not every track is for the club. It could be just a thought piece for the listener.
Yeah, and I was thinking now when you said that, like, when you're driving, like driving your car, and when you get to the vicinity of like getting close to home, you're getting close to home, then you start to relax so much more because you feel secure there.
Yeah,
and like in your secure zone, you think nothing can happen, and like that's where everything happens.
Yeah,
because you're not protecting yourself in that. You shouldn't have to.
No.
But that's like, you have your guard down. And yeah, that's the easiest way, like easiest place to get hurt by everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, like we have so much like heavy subjects, so like domestic violence is not like far away from it. Like nothing is, like you should never be in any position of thinking that you are above anyone else as a value. That's sickening me. But yeah, we're talking too much. No, not too much. We're talking a lot about this heavy stuff.
Yeah.
I have one last question. But first of all, do you have anything to say about the tracks? Like,
although the seriousness of the content in the song, in the lyrics, I think it was really fun to experiment with the sounds and the way that we arranged the songs, because I wouldn't find these arrangements in your everyday pop track. You should go listen to it, but I think that was kind of necessary for the lyrics to fit the environment of the instrumentation, then we had to do some certain, right, let's have a chorus here, let's have the pre-chorus there as well, blah, blah, blah. So I think the arrangements were really fun as a musician, as the artist, to work with a producer that was willing to, experiment. So maybe this is more experimental than pop, hip-hop music. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree on that. Like, it was really fun being a part of these productions also. In the same perspective. Like, I got to be free with the thinking outside of pop arrangements or hip hop arrangements. No continuous loops, no regular build-ups, no let's make this pre-chorus just hit into the chorus or anything like that. Just take it out of the box. Just think of a new way. The idea is to make the listener listen to the lyrics, kind of trick them as much as possible to just listen. And that was really interesting, really fun.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for being a part of these productions. And
people will see more of us with maybe the same seriousness and sometimes not.
Yeah. We don't have to talk about the deep stuff all the time.
No. But that's cool with music. You can get the serious subjects out there to get the listeners to feel and to listen. And then you can also, with music, just make people dance. I think that's the beauty of it.
Yeah. Share emotions.
Yeah.
So the last thing is quite a fun, not fun. Actually, it was quite stressful. The mastering process.
To master the track.
Oh my! We didn't do the mastering ourselves. We sent it to a mastering service, and because of the time consuming, we're working on so many different other tracks because we're songwriting with untune song, and the mix was done. We were happy with the mixes. I made actually a pre-master to see where we were heading with the idea of the master, quick fix thing. Then we sent it away.
Yeah.
Do you want to explain what happened later?
You could say it like this. We had a mix we thought that we really liked, and we sent it to the cutting room mastering studio, and. So the service we used were their 24-hour mastering service where you send it via internet and you
the online service
the online service and then you get it back 24 hours later and it's mastered and ready. But
I've been using that service before and I got a good result. That's the last result kind of thing. I'm like to have the control over it and being a part, and actually I love being in the mastering studio, being a part of the session to see and have inputs. And this one was just didn't have time, so we were just there.
So when we got it back the first time, the volumes and the volumes of the track or certain tracks in the mix were really weird. I remember my vocals in Tillräckligt were, if you have
it was popping.
It was popping, but the rest of the track were not popping. So that was weird because my vocals were really loud in the verses, but then you had the music really low. So it felt like if you turned up the volume generally over the whole song, then you had
sample was in the same volume as the music. So you had my rap screaming in your ear, and then you barely heard the music. And with Darlingen, we had some hi-hats that really knocked your head out of they would burn up the tweakers at every PA in the world. I remember I was listening to my AirPods. It's the hi-hat. It was. I actually took out my phones and just just didn't know what to do. It was just way too loud. It really cut into my head.
Yeah, and then again, I'm not so much into. I know the mastering process. I know what it's supposed to do to the track. So, but I think a lot of the times you just think that the mastering process should only make it like this better. You know, make everything blah blah. I mean, sometimes you don't need to master a track. I mean, sometimes I know people who goes with the last mix they done. Often,
then they probably do mastering process during the mixing.
Yeah, exactly.
That depends, like how you do the mix. Like as we did it with these tracks, we went through so many different processes of like the sound changes and so on. So we did have different levels in the mix from the beginning. So then when going to mixing, like re-level everything.
Yeah.
Then like do the mix, like place everything. And actually we didn't have those problems in the mixes when we sent them. So getting them back like that, like a mastering process should be like they should give out the final version that's suitable for the most amount of speaker systems, like small speakers, big systems, like should be like a regulated level. So of course it's gonna change the sound setting, so it's not gonna sound as it does in the studio. But this one was like EQ like 10 kilos, like put it to 11. Yeah, cool. No man, that's not cool. And then like on Tillräckligt, I like that vocal, like your rap, like you have a good rap, but man, you know,
but man, it
don't
doesn't
put
need
it to 11, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, like if how you even get that, because the vocal was crisp. It was not like you have like pushed it out in that. Like, I don't really know how you do that in from a full wave file that just make only the frequencies for the vocal to pop like that.
Yeah,
that's quite hard. You know, it feels like he tried. You know?
Yeah, but that was the first try. There we had both of the songs had like significant level, crazy levels. But so we emailed them, or you emailed them, saying that we needed to change this and that. I don't know if to the second point, did you send in a new mix, or was that for the third point?
What do you mean? Like we only did one No, actually, no. Yeah. We redid the mastering for both of the tracks, and that we did. What was it? Yeah. In Tillräckligt, I put the vocals down more or less under the instrumentation.
Yeah.
But the explanation I got was that the vocal in the chorus is so much like lower than the vocal in the verse, in the verses. So the leveling between the different vocals were too much a difference. But for me in the mix, didn't have that problem.
All right.
And that was making me confusing. But yeah, okay. I'm putting the vocal down, your vocal verses then down more or less under the instrumentation and send it in. And then we got back. In Darlingen, I actually put just a high cut on the hi-hats.
Yeah.
So making it like really like muffin down, you know?
Yeah.
And sent that in. We got back the instrumentations from that, and that was we had one of the tracks we sent in one more time.
Yeah, it was Tillräckligt that was sent in
one more time, yeah?
Yeah, one more time. Because then again, it was quite high, and then we had the problem with the ending of the song where Julia has this chorus where she's kind of soft, but then we had some issues where
with the overcompression.
Yeah, and it felt like the overcompression of her song made all the effects on her song really pop out. So you had reverb all over the place and stuff. But then, Darlingen, the second time we got back at Darlingen, that was actually good. The hi-hats were fixed. I didn't have anything to say. I liked the track. But Tillräckligt was sent in one more time, got that back, schmack. That's what you hear on Spotify right now. So it's the third time.
For Tillräckligt.
Yeah.
It's like that was enough, right?
Yeah.
Third time.
Yeah. I don't know. In Sweden, we say that third time you get it popping. So
yeah. Yeah, it was crazy productions, and well, we have a lot more to give.
Yeah.
And yeah, let's take it down from the happy mode again, and then go up in the end. But serious, real serious subjects to talk about. We should really just don't be afraid. Like, don't be afraid of having these conversations with people.
No.
Don't beat around the bushes. Yeah, people maybe don't want to talk about them. It's not up to the victims to take the conversation about them. It's about everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody should just take the responsibility of making this world a more suitable place
For everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
So yeah.
So hopefully you feel like if you see something, if you hear something, if you know someone, I mean, it could just be nice for someone to have someone to talk to. Yeah, that's what I felt with, especially with Darling, and that this was a person that really needed someone to listen, and for me to be able to make a song out of it. I mean, it was a great opportunity, because then again, we had Me Too. We had this happening to women all over the world, everywhere, every time. So, to actually be able to speak about it and to get people to listen to it, I think that what we want to say, as we said before, we just want to start the conversation and to get people to start the conversation between each other.
Yeah. Being conversation starters.
Yeah.
Everybody should be that. So yeah, this is the Untune podcast, and that was our segment of today. Well, next week, yeah, we're coming out with new stuff.
Yeah. New stuff will be coming, both from the songwriting team and from the Untune podcast.
Yeah. So yeah, stay tuned. Follow us on YouTube, Spotify. We got on iTunes. Yeah, and then the YouTube, of course. For you guys who doesn't like just to listen, you want to see us, then yeah, go on YouTube, Untune, and please go help us on Patreon. We're starting out with this, so right now, yeah, if you like it, promote us. We're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah. Stay tuned.